And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you can hear me. Put a quick thumbs up if you can hear me, guys. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Great, great. Thanks a lot, guys. I know you haven't heard from me for a long time. Welcome, welcome. Before I start this live stream, I thought I'd give a quick explanation of what's been happening with me. Um, I think some of you may know, may not know. I have been like demonetized and kicked out the platform. Google, the people who own YouTube, they basically what they did, they demonetized my account, and that means I couldn't monetize any of my channels, and which means yeah, so it caused a few issues. This was because my workplace found out I was doing YouTube videos and I wasn't supposed to. And I had a disciplinary meeting with them as well. And I had to give them my YouTube accounts and stuff like that. And they did some investigations and eventually I got fired. Yes, I got fired from my job. So I've been kind of staying a bit low as well. So obviously I didn't want to, yeah, I didn't want to cause too many aggravations. I wanted to kind of stay low for a bit until things got back to normal and until I found another job. So luckily I found another job. Still, obviously, I still got to be a bit careful because my new job obviously doesn't know what I'm doing either. So yeah, so I've got to be quite careful. So I got to tell you something. My other channel, which was Geopolitics Wolf Warrior, the original channel which I used for my when I first started doing YouTube, I was basically talking about China and stuff. So this was my Wolf Warrior channel, and my Wolf Warrior channel got completely all my videos had to be deleted. This was because I had to give that channel details to the investigation, and so that means all of my everything in that channel has been deleted. No, there's no. If you go to my Wolf Warrior page, everything had to be gone. I'll show you quickly, actually. Let's see here. Oh, I can't show you. But yeah, if you go to my Wolf Warrior page, everything has to be gone. So I've basically lost my account. Luckily, I didn't give this channel. This is my main channel, my World Gone Crazy channel. So I've still got this. I had to open a Google account using my wife's name, and so I'm kind of carry on doing YouTube with that at the moment. So I'm gonna see how long this lasts. Hopefully, they don't block my wife's account. So yeah, so what happened with me was Google demonetized me, and also they sent a letter to my bank as well because my bank was connected to Google, and my bank account basically shut me down. Because I work for a very kind of important government agency, so obviously they've got the power to do things like that. So yeah, so they cancelled my bank account as well. So I was going through a lot of crap shit over the last few months. Um, Basically, they're trying to silence me, and yeah. So what I've done now is I managed to open a kind of offshore account, Swiss account. So I'm not like I don't have any British accounts, and I've also opened a few other offshore accounts in Channel Islands and places like that where they can't really trace me. So I'm using those accounts at the moment. I've also opened a Chinese account as well. I managed to open a China account. Um, so so I'm using that at the moment, using those to link to the Google account. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Currently, it's my wife's Google account, so obviously that's in her name, her bank account name. So I have to be extra careful how I conduct my business. I don't want her bank accounts to be obviously shut down as well. So yeah, I've been having a lot of issues, guys. But I have been kind of going to Twitter a lot because Twitter seems to be allowing a lot of the voices out there. They've allowed people like Scott Ritter to speak their piece, and a lot of people who are kind of talking about the current Palestine-Gaza issue. Elon Musk seems to be letting people talk in that platform, so I've been on that for the past month or so. So I've been quite active on that, and this live stream is actually going on live on YouTube and Twitter as well at the same time. So let's see how this goes. I'm going to try making more YouTube videos again. So obviously, like I said, I've lost my Wolf Warrior channel. So I've got a second channel which I'm going to basically start from beginning, talking about China again. So I'm going to leave this channel talking about world geopolitics, and I'm going to have another second channel just talking about China again. Start again from beginning, to be honest. I'm not happy about it, but what can I do? Gotta do what you can do, I guess. So yeah, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update. Things have not been good, but I'm still here. They haven't managed to silence me completely. So obviously, I'm still here. I've still got a voice. I'm still here for you guys. So yeah, let's talk about what's been happening in the news. I mean, I know I've missed out on a lot last few months. There's a lot have been happening all over the world. Ukraine, obviously things happening in China, and I know obviously what's happening right now in Gaza and Palestine as well. So it's a lot of obviously a lot of craziness is going on around the world, and it's all related, as you know, it's all related. And obviously what's happened last week, what happened in Israel, the Hamas guys obviously kind of got through the borders and started killing like some Israelis and stuff. But whatever's happened, guys, I got to tell you, whatever's happened, does that give Israel a right to kill women and children in Gaza and Palestine? I mean, what's happening in Palestine right now is basically genocide, right? Genocide. And if you look at the videos that's coming out of Palestine, if you see the videos coming out of Gaza, all you see is women and children being killed. Do you see any Hamas members being killed? No. I mean, the official figures, you know, there's over 2,000 people have been killed, and mostly have been women and children, right? I mean, I understand countries want to take revenge, but take revenge on the Hamas guys, right? Well, I mean, why kill women and children? It's like somebody It's like somebody trying to come to my house and trying to kill me, and then I go to his house and kill his wife and daughters and mum, and I just leave him alone and I walk out. It just doesn't make any sense. It gives no country the right to do what they're doing in Gaza and Palestine. And not only that, what's happening right now is there's they've cut off the water, they've cut off the food. I mean, that Gaza is like an open air prison. I wouldn't even call it an open air prison. I would call it a concentration camp. Because to call it an open air prison, you got to have done a crime, right? A prison is you get put in a prison. If you do a crime, you get put into prison. But majority of people in Gaza have not done any crime. These are like wives and kids, babies. What crime have they done? Nothing, right? So you would this is a modern day concentration camp. This is exactly, you know, exactly what the Nazis, I'm sorry to say, Nazis did to the Jews, and now the Jews are doing it to the Palestinians. There's definitely apartheid going on, and it's a genocide because they control all the electricity, water, food. And recently, the Israeli government have said that they're going to block all food, they're going to block all medicine, they're going to block all water, you know, and they just literally, destroying houses and buildings and apartments, killing whoever they can. They're not targeting any Hamas members. They're just targeting the whole population. And this is what you call mass genocide. I saw a video today, right? I saw a video of this was in CGTN, and literally made me emotional, guys. And I don't really get emotional, but when I saw that video, it really did. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, can you see my screen, by the way? So yeah, it was a really emotional video that really got me. And this was in CGTN, and this was it, guys. This is it. So I know you can't hear it or anything. I just want to kind of like, I don't want to get any those copyright issues. But you can see this lady reporting from Gaza, and basically what she's saying is that all she's seen is like women and children being killed and bombed, and all she sees is dead bodies coming into the hospital, and they're just babies and women. And this woman can't hold she can't hold her emotions, and she's like crying, and she's trying to report on it. And now Israel have said, given this hospital only 12 hours or something to evacuate because they're going to bomb it. So you have all of these kids who are injured and dying in this hospital, women who are dying and injured. Where else are they going to go? Where else? They've got nowhere to go, and they're asking the whole hospital to evacuate. It's just absolute genocide, guys, and I just can't. There's no other word for it. There's no other word for it. I'm sorry, but it's absolutely crazy. Just want to make sure you guys can see my screen and hear me, by the way. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? But yeah, so what's happening over there is absolutely mad, guys. And I've seen some Israeli responses. Israelis are saying that they can these Palestinians can go south. And I mean, how are they going to go south? They've got no food, no water. A lot of these women and children are injured. There's no transport. How are they going to go south? I mean, it's a war zone, right? And I've seen videos where people are going south with cars and trucks, and they are being bombed. These guys are being bombed, so they can't go south. They are being targeted, and it's crazy. And I just think it's absolute kind of genocide. And the Israelis are saying, you know what, we gotta do this to defend our country. But is this really defense though? Is it really a defense to go to another country and kill women and children? Do you call that defense? I don't call it defense. Defense is when you're protecting yourself from someone or something. But you don't go around killing people's families and kids. That's not defense. That's more like revenge. This is just revenge. And all around the world, you see like governments supporting this. You see Rishi Sunak has been supporting it. Starmer has been supporting it. You've seen the female Hitler, Ursula, supporting it. You have Olaf Scholz supporting it. You have that French little Napoleon Macron supporting it. You have even Biden supporting it. And they're coming up with like really lies as well. You see the Biden administration. Even Biden said, "Oh, he's seen pictures of 40 dead babies beheaded or something," which came out to be completely untrue. By the way, these 40 beheaded babies was a complete like lie and fabrication, and it's been proved to be a lie. And now Biden's been made to look like an idiot because he said these 40 babies and beheadings. And yeah, it's the same thing going on. You see, I remember the same thing was happening during Iraq after 9/11. These guys, the same people wanted to go into Iraq and destroy Iraq. The same people who were warmongering, the same people you see on Twitter and the media. The media is very, very like anti-Muslim, anti-race. They're absolutely racist, Islamophobic, you would say. Same people on the news, they're all clamoring to destroy Iraq back then. Same people now are just saying, let's genocide Palestine. And there's a few people in the media who are absolutely disgusting. We're talking about Ben Shapiro as well. I don't know if you guys know Ben Shapiro. He's this guy's this guy's actively asking for women and children to be killed. And it's disgusting, guys, and disgusting. And there's a few guys, obviously, on Twitter trying to speak the truth. You have just obviously the um, the guys you would normally see on YouTube who are fighting for truth and justice. They're still doing their bit for awareness, still speaking the truth. And it's the same thing. The same thing that's happened in Iraq, in Ukraine, is now happening in Palestine. You got the same warmongers who are asking for Palestine to be destroyed. They want they didn't want to listen to any arguments. They're trying to shut people down, trying to close people's accounts. Same things happening all over. And I want to kind of go through some stuff in Twitter, and I want to give today kind of a Twitter special. And before I go through that, I just want to make sure everyone can see and hear my 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 channel. Can you guys see me and also see the Twitter page as well? Let me know you can, so I can continue. How is everyone, by the way? I hope you guys haven't missed me too much. Yeah, life's been good. I've been very I've been relaxing, guys, for the past few months. Obviously, you guys have not been hearing from me, but I've been taking a nice break, even though YouTube had demonetized me and stuff, and I decided to kind of take a break from it all to kind of lay low, and it's given me a good break, to be honest, because doing YouTube videos can be very, very tiresome, stressful, and as you know, there's crazy news happening every single day. So it's given me a nice little break from it all. I got to spend a lot of time with the missus, got to catch up with a lot of YouTube videos. I feel my knowledge has gone up as well, what's happening around the world. So it's given me a nice break. So all of this demonetization and all this stuff that's happening, it's probably done me good, to be honest. So I like to take every small positive out of every negative. So I'll start doing these obviously live streams and videos again. I'll slowly start creeping back in, and obviously taking things slowly at first, then I'll go back to normal again. Yeah, it's been crazy out there, guys. So let me continue with the Twitter stuff. So I'm going to kind of do a quick roundup of all the Twitter stories and everything that I've found. So there's a story that Iran has sent a message to the UN that they might get involved, and so if Israel doesn't stop doing what it's doing and doing genocide, Iran has said they will get involved, which is going to be very interesting because Iran is a very strong country. They provide arms to obviously Hezbollah. Hezbollah is based in Lebanon, and obviously Hamas are based in Palestine. But you also have Syria. So you could have Syria, Lebanon, Iran all joining forces, and they're not going to be joining forces as countries because they have to be extra careful with Israel. Israel has nuclear weapons, right? And So they have to be extra careful not joining a war against Israel. So what Iran is going to do, what Syria is going to do, Hezbollah is going to do, they're going to be fighting Israel with a volunteer army, the same way China did with North Korea. So they're going to send a volunteer army, fight guerrilla warfare with Israelis, and that's one thing Israelis don't want, because Israel is still a strong country with advanced weapons, so you can say they can beat a country easily with their weapons. They've got a lot of weapons. They get a lot of funding from the West, from United States, from Europe. So they are pretty stocked up when it comes to weapons. But one thing they're not good at is guerrilla warfare. So one of the reasons they haven't gone into Gaza before is because every time they go in, they seem to get absolutely slapped by Hamas, because they've got a lot of anti-tank missiles, and every time Israel goes in, they come out with loads of casualties, which they don't want. This is why it's easy for them to bomb Gaza, because they don't have any casualties when they bomb Gaza, and this is what they're doing. But unfortunately, they're killing wives and kids, so they're not really killing any Hamas members. So same thing happened with Lebanon. They tried to go into Lebanon a few years ago, and Lebanon also kicked their asses as well. Lebanon, Hezbollah, Hamas, they've got a lot of advanced weapons, anti-air, anti-tank weapons they've been getting from Iran. Iran makes a lot of those. And Iran is a country you don't want to mess with. Because if you remember Iraq, when United States went into Iraq, right? And then everything was fine and good for a couple of years. But then suddenly, American tanks and vehicles started getting destroyed using IED weapons. These were kind of IED, basically remote detonated weapons or mines. And guess where they got most of this from? It was basically from Iran. And I know this because I have family in Iran, actually, and I know a lot of people in Iran as well. So there was a lot of Iranian groups that went into Iraq and started targeting US vehicles, and they started training a lot of Iraqis how to use IED as well. And they caused life very difficult for the United States for 20 years. They did the same in Afghanistan as well. They made life very, very difficult, where United States had no choice but to leave Afghanistan. They've got a small amount of troops in Iraq, but they're not moving around like they used to. They're just stuck in one base, basically. So Iran, I mean, is a very powerful country. They make all of their own weapons. Last few years, they've been making a lot of money through oil sales, mainly to China. When Trump put his sanctions on Iran, when Trump put his sanctions on Iran, I believe the oil production at the time fell to an all-time low, to about 800,000 barrels per day, which was very low for a country like Iran. But now it's gone back to pre-sanction levels. It's gone back to, I believe, they've quadrupled the output, and they've also quadrupled the amount of oil that they're selling to China. It's gone almost up to 4 million barrels per day. And imagine with the oil prices of today, how much money they've been making. So the last few years, Iran's been making a lot of money. So Iran is obviously making its own missiles because they've been pretty much sanctioned from the West. They had no choice but to kind of make their own weapons. So a lot of they make a lot of drones, like a lot of the drones that's used by Russia in Ukraine. The Shaheen drones comes from Iran. And the advantage of them making it in Iran is very cheap. And this is why Russia buys them from Iran, because they're very, very cheap compared to Western drones. And at the end of the day, when you're in a war, it's all about money end of the day. So if you use one drone, which costs, $500,000 to make in Iran, compared to 5 million if you make in the West, losing $500,000 is not a big deal compared to losing 5 million, right? The war is all about the economy. In terms of economy, war is all about economy. and whoever can win the war with the least amount of money end of the day wins. And this is why, you know, the country that makes a lot of cheap weapons always wins at the end. Or the country that has a huge manufacturing base will always win. Like right now, China has that advantage. They have a huge manufacturing advantage compared to the United States. I mean, their shipping alone in China is almost over 200 times more capacity than what the US can do in terms of shipping. So China can produce 200 times more ships than what United States can do as of now, probably more than 200% now. So this is the power of manufacturing, power of making cheap goods. And Iran has that advantage at the moment. So it's a very, very bad idea for Israel to start getting all of these countries involved. And I was in London today, guys, and there was a huge march happening in London. There was a huge protest going on all over London, and I went to, and this is happening. This is happening in Pakistan, but it's all over the world. There's protests going on in every city. I believe almost 1 million people ended up in these London marches, and it's here somewhere, but got to take my word for it. Oh yeah, here it is. You can see this is London. So I was there actually this afternoon, and everybody is supporting Palestinians there. But you have a lot of racist people online on Twitter who are saying, "Oh, London is lost. You know, there's too many brown people in London, too many Muslims, so many racist people going on." So the point is, Israel is completely angering the Muslim world here. They're angering not only their neighbors. Saudi Arabia has said that they're not gonna have any normalization talks with Israel, which is a huge blow not only to Israel but also to India, because India wanted to have some sort of opposing Belt and Road scheme going from India all the way to Israel and then to Europe. So obviously that's gone out the window because that road has to go through Saudi Arabia. So without Saudi Arabia's help or normalization, that project is good as dead. So talking about India, I mean, Indians seem to be supporting what's happening in Palestine. And I got to say, I am completely shocked by India's behavior. And I'm shocked because India was colonized for 200 years by the British. British took their land, took £1 trillion worth of treasures and natural resources, diamonds, agricultural goods, killed millions because millions died because British were taking all the agricultural products and there was none left for the Indian people. So many millions died because of famine. And India was colonized for 200 years, but now you have India basically. Sorry, did I show you this? Yeah. Basically, you have India basically supporting what's happening in Palestine, and I'm pretty shocked because have the Indians forgotten what it was like being colonized for 200 years? So you have a Jewish state here completely colonizing Gaza. They control what goes in, what goes out. So they're completely starving the whole, whole place of Gaza. They've given them no food, water, literally starving the whole population. This is worse than apartheid. And now you have the Indians completely on the side of Israel, and you have Modi who came on stage and he said he stands with Israel and everything. And I'm on Twitter and I get so many Indians basically messaging me, and they're all saying, "Oh, we stand with Israel, we stand with Israel." I'm thinking, what the hell, man? Have you guys forgotten your history? Have you forgotten that you were colonized for 200 years and what it was like? So this is what Israel is doing to Palestine. So at least you should have some sort of sympathy for Palestinian people. So I don't understand why India is suddenly treating Israel like some sort of god country, and they're just worshipping Israel. And I was speaking to a few people, and I think it's all got to do with Kashmir. And obviously, India wants to do to Kashmir what Israel is doing to Palestine. And they are taking a lot of tips from Israel in how to control that population in Kashmir. And I think that's got to do a lot with it. And there's no other explanation, guys. I just think, there's a lot of people in India who are completely brainwashed by the media. We're talking about propaganda central in India. All it takes is one paper to print something, and that's it. The whole Indian population is brainwashed. And this is how they're brainwashed to be anti-Chinese. Now they're being anti-Palestinians. And this is bad news for India because end of the day, they are alienating themselves from the Arab world. The Arab world is looking at which countries are supporting Israel and which countries are not. So they expect the Western countries to support Israel because they've always done that. But for the first time in many years, India has basically gone to the side of Israel, and they've never done that before. India previously was always a neutral country. They always never used to go with one side or another. But this year, they've completely gone with the West, gone with Israel. And Israel doesn't love them back, by the way. I've seen a lot of messages on Twitter with Israelis saying, we don't want your friendship. You guys stink. You guys go back to worshipping cows and stuff like that. So Jews are very racist against Indians. But the Indians don't care. They like to worship the white people in Israel. And yeah, it's just ridiculous, guys. And also, they're alienating themselves from the Arab world and the Muslims. And India, there's one problem with India. India does not have any natural resources, so they have to get a lot of oil and gas from Arab countries. So for India to be standing with Israel, they are alienating their whole economy because they're going to have to buy a lot of gas and oil from Arab countries. And if the Arab countries decide not to sell it to India because of their stance, against Palestine, India is going to be in a lot of trouble. And I think in a few years, when gas and oil gets very expensive, and India is going to be going to these Arab countries and saying, "Oh, can you give it to us for a bit cheap? We need it." Arab countries are going to say, "Piss off." End of the day, we've seen your stance, how you were with Israel and Palestine. We're not going to give it to you cheap. We'll give it to you, in fact, more expensive than everyone else. So India is shooting its own grave. So I have no idea what the hell India is doing, by the way. And yeah, I just think it's not good. Not good what India is doing. So can you guys hear me, by the way? Just want to make sure you guys can still hear me, and make sure you guys are okay. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you need any, if you have any questions or anything. I'll try and answer them if I can. If you have a major question, don't. I know I've not been online for a while, but how many people have we got? 162. Make sure you like, guys. Make sure you like the channel. It helps with the algorithm. Obviously, I'm back to YouTube now, so obviously any help will be appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, do whatever you need to do to kind of spread the love. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next topic. So let's go down to kind of Twitter. These are some of the kind of stories I've been picking up over the past few hours. So you have the South African leader who's standing with Palestine. So he's standing on the right side of history. So you got to kind of give South Africa some respect. As you know, South Africa was part of the apartheid regime, and they managed to get themselves out of apartheid. Unfortunately, Gaza is still in apartheid, so it makes sense for South Africa to support Palestine in this situation. So I just found it very moving for him to kind of come out in support of Palestine, which I thought was very, very good. So you have Ursula here going in and shaking hands with Netanyahu, and little Miss Hitler here, whose ancestors have been working for the SS, and this has been proven. So she's obviously going around Ukraine for the past year or so, putting Ukrainian flags everywhere, loving Zelensky, and now she's putting all her faith onto Israel. And this woman would do whatever the US, establishment wants her to do. She is like the biggest puppet, unelected European leader, by the way. And recently, Claire is an MP who works for the Irish Parliament. And Claire recently said in a tweet that, Ursula has basically, she doesn't speak for all of the Europeans. She's basically doing what the US wants her to do. And this is exactly what Ursula's doing now. Anything that the Americans want her to do, she will do. She'll go and lick Netanyahu's backside, if Biden wants her to. It's not even Biden. I think it's people above that. So I'm talking about the military-industrial complex and the establishment, which actually runs the United States, not Biden. So it's a bit of a shame that, but wherever she goes, it's trouble. Poor Zelensky has been completely ignored for the past few days, and poor Zelensky. Nobody's speaking about Zelensky anymore. Nobody is talking about giving Zelensky any money, because some money that was earmarked for Zelensky is now going to Israel, and Zelensky is feeling absolutely left out and devastated, because if Zelensky doesn't get the money that he needs, the Ukraine project will absolutely collapse, and I'm talking severely collapse in days if he doesn't get that money, because he's got to pay all of these mercenaries, he's got to pay the army. As soon as they find out they're not getting paid, what do you think these army guys and mercenaries are going to do? They're just going to either give up or start fighting against Kiev. The whole country is just going to collapse. So he needs that money to survive. So if he doesn't get it, who knows what may happen. So there's a story about 40 babies killed by Hamas. I found this picture quite quite funny. You got 40 soldiers here wearing nappies. Facebook has banned some Palestinian groups, and again, Facebook is controlled by the US government. And you've seen what Facebook did with China, supporting these Uyghur terrorists. Now he's kind of supporting Israel, and he's doing what the United States want him to do. But I'm not really worried end of the day, because Facebook is finished. Nobody uses Facebook anymore. It's bloody old. Nearly every one of my friends doesn't even use Facebook anymore. Everyone's disconnected. The only thing that's making Facebook money is Instagram, but unfortunately, Instagram is starting to lose users as well. More people are using TikTok nowadays, so even Instagram is not making the money. So this guy, I think pretty much Facebook is going to collapse within another year or two. You just have to look at their share figures, and nobody's talking about Meta anymore. There was supposed to be a metaverse, and Facebook was supposed to lead the metaverse, and that came out absolutely disgusting, because people were walking around with no legs. People were laughing at the graphics and everything, and these ridiculously priced headsets as well. So nobody's using this Meta crap anyway. So he's lost obviously billions investing in Meta, which didn't come into fruition. So I don't see Facebook lasting, to be honest. I think it's going to be one of the major tech companies to collapse over the next year or so. I'll probably say next year, because I don't think these guys can survive. So this guy has been endorsing the Israelis. This guy's definitely been bought by the Israelis, and he's like a mini version of Blair. So this is Starmer, the Labour leader, and obviously Blair obviously went into the war in Iraq on weapons of mass destruction. So this guy's doing the same thing. He's openly calling for genocide in Palestine, and he's not even the prime minister of UK. But it's important to know because he will be the next prime minister. Because there's no way Rishi can survive, or anybody will vote for Rishi. So it looks like he's going to be the next prime minister. Unfortunately, he's going to be losing a lot of Muslim votes. Muslims are definitely not going to vote for him. But the Muslims are a minority in UK. I think there's only 5 million Muslims in UK, so there's still a minority. But we'll see. He might be the leader, but I don't think he's gonna win by much. He might be a very narrow victory, but we'll see. So this is the CGTN video, guys. It actually brought me to tears. Absolutely, very saddening to see. And so yeah, there's another story about Iran. So I want to talk about Iran a bit more because Ben Shapiro was actually talking about nuking Lebanon, nuking Iran, and you have American senates as well talking about it as well. You have Linda Graham, I believe his name is Lindsey Graham, Linda, the senator who's got a girly name, Lindsay. You know, in UK, Lindsay. If you're called Lindsay, you're a girl. Some people call him Linda. So he's been actively calling for genocide as well. He's been calling about bombing, nuking all of the Muslim countries as well. He's been saying that. He's been talking about nuking Iran. Ben Shapiro has been talking about nuking Iran and Lebanon. So these guys are crazy. These guys are bloody warmongering crazy nuts. So I think, you know, this might be a bit controversial, guys, but I think that Iran needs to get nuclear bombs as soon as possible, because if you got a nuclear bomb, the West will leave you alone. I mean, the example is there, like in North Korea. The West is scared of North Korea. You know, they've sanctioned it to hell, but they've left North Korea alone, right? They've not gone into North Korea. They've not dared to attack North Korea because they know that North Korea's got nukes, and it's a nice balance to have. So everyone knows that Israel has got nukes, and they can. These guys are crazy. I know they will use it. If their backs are against the wall, they will use it. I mean, you know, if they can genocide a whole country of Palestine, they can kill, you know, every single Muslim around them if they wanted to with nukes, you know, and they got the nukes to do it. So if Iran had nukes, that would basically balance that region out. Same way, you know, India and Pakistan have got nukes. So because these two countries have nukes, they are obviously they can be obviously scared to do anything to each other, and this is why there's been pretty much peace between those two countries for years. There's not many, you know, they've not been in. If they weren't for nukes, they were literally having wars with each other every few years. So I think we need a balance in the Middle East. We need another country with nukes that can balance, you know, that power in that region. And at the moment, because Israel has got nukes, they've got the power. They can literally nuke everyone, nuke Palestine if they wanted to, and nobody can do anything. But if Iran had nukes, you know, Israel would think twice before doing something like that. And this is why it's important for Iran to get nukes as soon as possible. And I've got to tell you a secret, guys. I mean, I have, you know, I have families and I have a lot of contacts in Iran, and I'm gonna give you guys a secret. I know a lot of family members who have contacts who are working in the nuclear field in Iran, and they are telling me they have the capacity to make nuclear weapons, and in fact, they have a lot of nuclear weapons ready to go. And these are missiles. They have technology to have that centrifuge going up to over. If you get your centrifuges going above 95% or something, I mean these, then you can start using nukes, and they have that capacity, and they've had it for years. They've had it for more than 20 years, and they've been keeping them secret underneath mountains and things like that. And places where they cannot get bombed or get figured out. So they have nukes ready to go. So if America or Israel believe they can just nuke Iran and get away with it, they have a big surprise coming, because Iran can easily activate those nukes that they've built and start firing back, because they've had this technology 20 years ago. And I know this because a lot of my family members have said that a lot of Pakistani scientists have gone from Pakistan into Iran, and they've sold them a lot of the secrets in how to build a nuclear bomb and stuff. And they've known this for 20 years. And but they said they haven't got nukes officially right now, but they have the capacity to make them very quickly at a moment's notice. So everything is ready to go. And so if they get attacked by a nukes or anything, they can have their own nukes ready to go within hours. So that's the capacity that Iran has. And so if they think that they can just blow up Iran, they really have another thing coming. They just completely underestimated Iran. But it's not just Iran with nukes. They've also got a lot of weapons that they've been manufacturing over the years. They've got a lot of they have a huge army all over Middle East. They have an army in Iraq, in the southern part of Iraq, Basra, places like that. It's basically, the whole southern Iraq is basically run by Shiite Muslims, and Shiite Muslims is a majority in Iran. So they have a lot of influence in southern Iraq, and they have a lot of influence in Lebanon and obviously Yemen. So they have a lot of proxies all over Middle East. So you don't want to mess with Iran. Iran is literally the last country you want to mess with. But the Americans, they want to have a war with Iran. They want to have a war with Russia, and they want a war with China at the same time. And there's a lot of articles that were saying this. And again, how stupid do you have to be to start a war with Iran, Russia, and China at the same time? I mean, you're just asking for it, right? You're just talking about suicide. It's like me going out in the streets and starting a fight with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rocky, and Hulk Hogan at the same time, right? I mean, what's going to happen to me? They're going to rip me to shreds. I mean, like, that's how stupid it sounds, but that's exactly how stupid it is, because they want to start a fight with three major regional superpowers. I would say regional superpowers because Iran is still a regional superpower in that region. They are very, very underestimated, and they really don't know how powerful Iran is. And Iran was the main country that drove Americans out of Afghanistan and Iraq. So they really don't want to mess with Iran. So let's go through more stories. So this is the hospital they want to evacuate and destroy. Recently, Burrell went to China, and Burrell went to China, and he was lecturing China. And this is Wang Yi, and he was lecturing China on a number of things. Number one, he wanted China to come out with a strong statement condemning Hamas and stuff like that, and China refused. Secondly, he wanted China to stop working with Russia and stop providing weapons to Russia and stop providing economic help to Russia. And again, China refused. And then Burrell got really angry, and he said he wants China to take Europeans seriously. Europeans are basically a world power or something. And the Chinese basically laughed in his face. I mean, this guy, this guy, I mean, this guy shows, I mean, I'm sorry to use the word stupid, but he's probably more stupid than stupid, and I'm trying to think of a word like more insulting than stupid. But this guy thinks that he can go to China and lecture China and tell them what to do. And what have the Europeans done to China over the years? And I'll tell you what they've done. They've blocked that investment deal that they were supposed to do with China, and we're talking about this investment deal which was signed by Merkel just before Merkel left. And it was supposed to be a very good win-win situation between China and Europe. And the Americans basically came in and said, nope, cancel that. And the Europeans basically did what the Americans said. They canceled that investment deal. Now they want to start with Chinese EV cars. They want to put tariffs on them. So good luck to that, because majority of cars that Volkswagen sells is in China. So if they put tariffs on Chinese cars, China can easily turn around and put tariffs on Volkswagen and BMW, Mercedes, and watch how these companies just fall apart. So this is one war that they do not want to have. And Europeans have been pretty much puppets for the United States, and China has basically realized that Europeans do not have a mind of their own. And they've proved that with Ukraine. They've again proved that with Israel. Europeans are basically puppets of the deep state, and the Chinese know this very well. So this is why Chinese, they're not very taking Europe very seriously anymore. There's not much investment going into Europe anymore. But basically, China is now looking after itself, and Chinese investments are now going into consumption. They are going to high development, which high manufacturing goods instead of low manufacturing goods. They are now making chips which are advanced DEV chips. Huawei has now released their own phone, the Huawei Mate 60 phone as well, and this is made by in-house 7 nanometers chips by SMIC. Their shipbuilding in China is breaking records. Before it was South Korea and Japan who were the main shipbuilding countries, but now China has taken over these two countries and become the #1 country for shipbuilding. They're making all sorts of cruise liners. They're making the renewables are like top of the world. They have more renewables in China than the whole world combined. EV cars are going around the world. So Chinese economy is going very, very well. And you see in the European papers, in the British papers, only a few weeks ago, they said China's collapsing, China's collapsing. Then 1 week later, they were like, oh, it's not collapsing. Actually, it's fine. So they love to put these stories about China's collapsing every single month. Every single month, oh, bad news from China coming out of China. Evergrande is going to collapse. China's going to collapse. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, no, it's not. And, these reporters now, they must look really stupid, because the same reporters keep saying China collapsed, and it's not been collapsing. So how stupid do they look? It's like, oh, they're going to collapse any day now. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no. So I'm going to talk a bit more about China in my Chinese channel. So let's kind of talk about a bit more about what's happening around the world. So you have Mr. Marandi. He's obviously from Iran. He's very, very articulate in what he says as well. I always kind of listen to him. And let's kind of carry on. So this is that guy, Ben Shapiro. So this is where he was talking about using his nuclear threat to, on Jewish neighbors, which I thought was absolutely disgusting. And yeah, so there's convoys being destroyed by Israel. So Israel have said that go south, we're not going to harm you. So there's a lot of people have been going south, and again, their convoys have been blown up. Really, really sad, guys. Absolutely sad. And so these poor people who don't have like internet access, they've disconnected. You can see here in recent days, they've murdered UN staff, disconnected electricity, water for 2 million people, bombarded a border crossing to block humanitarian aid, announced intention to bombard a hospital. And you can see all of these stories coming out, and absolutely sad, guys, absolutely sad. So you got the same guys who are kind of clamoring for, obviously, I follow him as well, Richard Medhurst. And this is Hamas making RPGs. You can see Hamas making RPGs here. And this is Jeremy Corbyn today. He was in the protest march in London. So obviously he was a Labour leader, and he was probably the only one who was speaking the truth. He was extremely clever, and he knew what was going on around the world. But we can't have him running the country. So what did they do? They basically get rid of him. They come up with all these stupid lies, and the Israeli lobby basically pushed for this guy to be sacked, and they got him sacked. So if you speak the truth, and if you are pro-Palestinian, basically you get kicked out of office, and that's what's happened to him. So that's it, guys. I think I've kind of spoken enough. It's been more than an hour now. So, so yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me? Let me know. I'm happy to kind of answer any questions. Make sure you put a Q sign in front of questions as well. Oh, thanks for this shadowless kick. Thanks for your contribution. Appreciate it. And yeah, so if you guys got any questions, CA, hi, how you doing, mate? A long time no see. Okay, so you thought no, I haven't retired. I haven't retired. Like I said, I've been demonetized. So hopefully I'll get back to things slowly. Obviously I have to be extra careful still. But don't worry, I haven't retired yet. I'm still here because it's important, guys, to spread the truth. It's important to kind of talk. Look, I'll be honest. I could easily retire and enjoy my time watching other people's YouTube videos, enjoy my time with my missus, go out and do other things. I'd rather not do it. But I just think there's too many stuff going on around the world where, and there's not enough people speaking the truth. There's a lot of people speaking propaganda on untrue things. So I don't feel, I feel I'm doing something for good for humanity if I do kind of come online and speak the truth. So yeah, I think this is why I'm not gonna obviously retire. I'm gonna try and do what I can. Obviously, they have tried to silence me and stuff, and it has hurt me a lot. Obviously, I had a lot of money in the Google account, so because they haven't been paying me for a few months, a lot of money got accumulated in the Google accounts, and they didn't release it, and then they obviously shut it down. So I lost all of that money as well. So it did hurt, guys. I'm not gonna lie. So it did kind of hurt me at some point, thinking, is it really worth doing it and stuff? But then you see what's happening around the world over the last week or so, and you think, you know what? It's the end of the day, you got to speak out because there's only a few people who are actually speaking out the truth, and I think it's important to carry on doing that. And I don't think they can try and silence you and stuff, but I've got a lot of knowledge that inside my head, a lot of knowledge that I want to share with you guys, and I think it's going to be very selfish if I keep all that knowledge within me and not share it with you. So I think it's important for me to kind of carry on and spread the message of truth and stuff. And thanks, Shadowless, again. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so I'm getting the donations again. It's going into my wife's account because the Google account is in my wife's name and in my wife's bank account. So yes, I am getting these donations, or my wife is getting it, and she's gonna pass it on to me. So or we will just share it. I don't know, because end of the day, she's my wife, so I trust her. She's not gonna run away with another man. Hopefully not. But yeah, no, I'm serious. Hopefully not. But yeah, yeah, it's all good, guys. Well, yeah, I haven't retired. I'm still here. I still have a voice. They're gonna have to kill me to stop me talking, unfortunately. So, so yeah, so I'll carry on talking. But there's a lot of guys who are speaking the truth, as you've seen in YouTube. There's Richard Medhurst, Jackson Hinkle, the two Alexes and the Duran, Reportify. There's many guys on YouTube, but when I say many, there's a lot more people speaking untrue things than truth. So you gotta kind of, yeah, you gotta do it for the good of humanity. End of the day, if I can persuade one person who's on the fence and just teach him what's happening around the world, and you change their opinions and stuff, then I've done my job. But yeah, I'm here to kind of I'm not really kind of doing it for the money. I'm kind of doing it because I feel that, it's something that's needed in this world, and I have a unique knowledge compared to everybody else. Like Richard only focuses on the Middle East, and you see the two Alexes, they focus on Russia and Ukraine. I'm unique because I've got knowledge on China, I've got knowledge on the Middle East, and obviously I know Russia and Ukraine as well. So I've got like a very good knowledge about what's happening around the world, different from everyone else on YouTube. I can give a completely different outlook. So I think that's what makes me different from everyone else, because I've lived in China, and I know a bit of Chinese, and I know China very well, and obviously my family's from Iran, so I know Middle East very well, and obviously what's happening in Ukraine, Russia as well. And I'm British, so I know British politics very well as well. So yeah, there's four things really, four pluses. So it makes me different from the normal geopolitics expert, I guess. Um, but yeah, it's nice. It's nice talking to you guys. It is good to be back. I haven't been doing this for a while, so I'm gonna start getting guests back on. Obviously, because of all the issues, I've not been able to have proper conversations with other YouTubers, and things are a bit difficult. So obviously, I'm going to get myself back on slowly, do a few more videos, do some live streams, and then I'll slowly start inviting people to have a chat with me on live stream. There's a few people here I want to speak to, like Frankie, and there's a few others who have kind of reached out to me, and I'm going to have some conversations with you guys. If anyone else wants to have a chat with me here, you don't need to show your face because it's not important. In the day, it's all about the voice. It's all about spreading the message and the voice. So don't be shy. If you want to reach out to me and you want to come on and have a live chat, then I'm happy to listen. I haven't forgotten about Frankie. He's reached out to me and he wants a live chat, so we'll try and make something happen soon. And I'll try and invite other guests as well. I'll try and get more guys on board, famous guys, and hopefully I can get my channel moving again, because it's obviously ground to a halt over the past few months. So yeah, let's get it moving, guys. And obviously need your help as well. Make sure you click that like button, share it out, and do whatever you can to help the channel. I do appreciate it. So yeah, I promise to try and get myself back on slowly. So it's good to come back on and have a chat with you guys. So yeah, just think of it like I've been on a long extended break, long holiday, and now I'm back. Hope you haven't missed me too much. So I'm gonna put this to a close, guys. I don't know how long I've been speaking for, maybe like a hour or two. And so yeah, we'll try and make this into a regular thing. I'll do some live stream channels every few days, and I'll do normal videos, one about what's happening around the world, and one about China. So keep a lookout for community posts, stuff like that. And yeah, let's get things back to how they were before, and even better. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and hope you have a nice evening and enjoy the weekend. And I'll see you guys soon. So take care for now. Oh, Garland, yes. Low Paul, yes, definitely Garland. I'll be reaching out to him soon, try and get him on the show. He is definitely one of my favorites. I love Garland shows. So yeah, Garland, Scott Ritter, maybe even Morandi, Richard Medhurst, Danny, Danny Haifong, is it? Haifong? Obviously the two Alexes. Yeah, there's so many guys I need to start contacting, but I need to get my channel back on track first, because obviously the more followers I have, the more attractive I become. Like these big guys like Scott Ritter, I tried reaching out to him a few times, but he said my channel followers are too low at the time, because at the time I had about 25k. He said he was too low. So I think he wants me to get to at least 40 or 50 for me to become more, attractive. So yeah, I'm going to try and get these guys on board. So I'll try and reaching out again, but I need to get my channel back to growth again, and start doing regular videos. So anyway, guys, I'm mumbling on. Take care for now, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.